This is the day that the Lord has made. Hello everyone, welcome to my live. How are you? Let's see if anyone comes on tonight. Astra, what's going on? How are you? You guys, I couldn't help it. I had to come on. I had to. Eli has a girlfriend. All right, be safe. Make sure she really is 17, Eli. Yay, Astro. Well, I'm home alone, and it's been a crazy week. Crazy. When I tell you crazy. I won't share details, but what a week it's been. I needed the time off, though, away from live. Eli, do you really think that's good to be with the 17-year-old when you're 14? I don't think so. But live your life, Eli. Chicken wings, all right. Yeah, I just had, my son went to hang out with friends and I'm home alone. Eli, have you watched the stories about people who, I don't know what you call it, but that just seems very suspicious that she's 17 wanting to be with a 14-year-old. Bombastic, I know you don't like kids, but sometimes I gotta help them out. Eli, don't do it. Don't do it. That is really weird. When you're that young, age is a big difference. Yeah, what's been going on, Astro? What's been going on with you, Boombastic? Things have been eerie this week. It's been eerie. It's been uncomfortable. It's been all kinds of things. All right, good night, Eli. Boombastic has been bored. I've been busy. Not being live. Yeah, like I said, you know, everything happens the way it should. And me not having Wi-Fi this was like a good week because I had a lot of stuff that I had to take care of this week. Oh, look at Astro 2 has someone new. Okay. The crazy storms, oh my goodness. There's nothing going on out here. I told my son that I want to start going to a different church every weekend. He's like, why? I said, son, I know I have my relationship with God already from home. Don't need a church for that. But I was like, I need to go find my future husband. So I'm taking that seriously. I really do. I'm hoping. But it's not going to be this weekend, you guys. It'll have to be next weekend when I start going to church. Because I have a busy weekend. Nice, Astro. Go for it. Go for the worship team. Oh, goodness. I had coffee this morning because I knew today was kind of a long day. So I was like, let me get my coffee in this morning. And I feel full of energy still. And it is almost 10 o'clock where I'm at. And I woke up at 5 in the morning. I don't know about anyone else, but I've been waking up shortly before 5 o'clock because the sun is up. And I just can't go back to sleep. Good for you, Astro. Oh, thanks for updating me. You know how one little thing can change your whole life? That happened to me. That happened to my friend. That happened to someone else I know. It's been a crazy week. Crazy week. I was harassed by the same person. Do I have to get a restraining order against them? If there was physical... Okay, Bombastic, this is what I know about restraining orders. There has to have been a physical altercation. Maybe I'm wrong. Which, I don't know, it kind of doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you know it's going to escalate to that point. That's why you want a restraining order, but it has to have happened already. I think. Astra says, I've been going to all services at church as well. Good for you. You know what, Astra, when I was young, when I was like 14, 15-ish, 13, I used to go to church a lot myself, by myself, without my mom, I just loved to go to church when I was that age. I would go to church, I would volunteer. Asher says this is my 6th or 7th week of doing that, and I gotta say, life is so good. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I think that would suffice for getting a restraining order. Yep, Bombastic, if you don't feel comfortable around that person and they don't know how to keep their hands to themselves, yes. Good for you, Astro. It's scary, Bombastic. I did have to get a restraining order on one person in my life. And it is really scary. It's like, what are they going to do to me now that they know I put a restraining? Like, It's so weird how that plays with your mind. It's scary, but I think you should go for it, Bombastic. Bombastic says church is awesome. Do you go to church, Bombastic? All right, Astro. Okay, I locked my door. Okay, this is part of the craziness that happened to me this week. I'm not gonna tell you guys the deepest things that happened, but more on the surface. Oh, you liked going to Bible studies. I have never been to a in-person Bible study, but I am looking for one. Okay, I think it was Tuesday morning. Is it Tuesday morning? Or Wednesday morning? Wednesday morning, I woke up, did everything I had to, and then I was getting ready to get into my car to go to work. And I happened to notice that my other vehicle had been egged. Well, thankfully, only one egg, but when I first looked, it looked like there was two, because there was two different spots. And so I looked around the entire vehicle. It was only those two spots, and then I looked at it even further. It was like only one egg was thrown, but somehow because of the angle, it hit one spot and then fell on the other. And I'm like, what is going on here? I don't know. So I called my son because he's been waking up early too. I said, son, please wash this spot off, because from what I know, egg can stay on if you don't take it off. Lizzie, I've not seen you in so long. How are you? Are you still in Arizona? Lovely Lizzie. And then this morning, I went out to go to work, and I noticed my car that I was driving had this huge spot on it, I don't know, it looked like ice cream or something was thrown onto it. So I'm like, what is going on? I don't know if it's coincidence. I don't know, but it had me a little uneasy because of what is happening at work. Oh, you're still in AZ. Is this your first summer here in Arizona, Lizzie? Oh, I missed you too. So, it seems like it, Bombastic. I don't know if it's just a total coincidence, because I would imagine if somebody really wanted to egg my vehicle, they would have thrown more eggs. I mean, one is enough. It definitely is enough, but so I just am going to pay attention. They do not, Bombastic. They know the neighborhood I'm in, but they don't know exactly where I live. I mean, it probably wouldn't be too difficult to find where I live. It didn't catch anything, Bombastic. Lizzie says, yes, my first summer here. It will get more hot, Lizzie. It gets hotter in probably late July, early August is the hottest time. Yeah, it is. It is quite hot. Oh, you didn't hear, Lizzie, but this morning I was at work and the AC was out. Yes, Monday it started to feel like it wasn't cooling, and it just got worse until today. It was completely hot. Bombastic, I'll have to pay attention. No, Lizzie, no one could. I called 2 AC people. One did not answer at all. The other one said they couldn't come out until late in the day. And at that point, I'm already gone because I only work 8 to 12. So I was like, can you just please come on Monday? So they're supposed to come Monday. By the way, Bombastic, I don't know who else is here, but I know Lizzie knows what you're typing. You know, it's like it feels like when, yes, no AC and AZ, that was crazy. You know, it's like when one thing happens, it's like a whole bunch of things happen at once. Juan says, any single women in South Florida. How do you get DM'd on YouTube? Yeah, I do, Bombastic. Yeah. And my son is leaving to go visit his dad soon. But Juan, how do you get a DM? That's what I want to know. I think this is the wrong place to get DMs. So I told my child to park his car into the garage. So we need to clear out the garage so he could park while he's gone. And I need to make sure my cameras are in the right places. Oh, goodness. Hello, Gabe. Okay, Juan, I don't know why you're saying boring, but you're here. These are my real teeth. I have all my teeth. Do you? I don't have any cavities. Do you? Never had a cavity in my life. Anyways. Lord, please help me. Please help me. And you know, because it was so hot at work, as I was walking out, somebody walked in for a check that they receive, and they smelled like weed. And I was like, you smell like weed. Do you smoke? And they're like, oh, I just came from my daughter's house and she smokes. And I just went off on her, y'all. I do walk. I just, as a matter of fact, made sure I got all my steps in today. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Yeah, so I told her, I was like, I do not tolerate people who smoke weed. I don't want to work with them. I don't want to be around them. And I was like, oh my goodness. I think I was just upset because it was really hot. But it was quite the Friday. Hello, Robert. Thank you. Well, Gabe got his first cavity 6 years ago. I don't do that, never did. Welcome to my live stream, Robert. It does, Lizzie. That's what I, anytime I smell skunk, that's when I'm like, who has weed? Yeah, it is. You know what? Sometimes I'm okay with comments, and I'll let them go on for a little while, but then if it just keeps on, you're gonna get timed out. That was me, Gabe. That was totally me today. She had to follow me from one place to another, and the whole entire time I'm like telling her how and why, all the reasons why I don't tolerate weed. Oh, you listen in the background and you never texted. Well, I'm glad you finally did text or comment. You know what I mean. We know what you mean. Yeah, for anyone who is new here, I follow Jesus Christ as best as I can. I am not perfect, and weed has never, ever been in my life. I've never been one to support that. And I'm not going to start now. Even if it's legal, I am not starting now. Okay, so because of that one thing that is going to change my life, right? I got to change. It made me reflect even deeper into my life than I've already reflected, because I'm always reflecting on my life. I'm like, oh no, I got to step up my game and make changes. Lizzie, how have you been? Are you busy working? Are you still with baby A, I think is the name you gave him? I'm thirsty. I definitely did not get my water intake today. I don't even know where my water bottle is, my other one. I think I left it in my car. Yes, Boombastic, what's the question? Gabe, I need to get more serious on my weight. I've been working out every single morning. I've been getting my steps, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. So I got to step that up. Oh, Lizzie, but you be making that money. Sergi is in here. What question Sergi has put into the comments? I didn't hear about a report. So I don't have anything to... I have no opinion. Would I date a guy from YouTube? If I could meet him in person and see him every day, yes. But if it was a total virtual relationship, no. I couldn't do it, y'all. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a story. I know you are, Lizzie. Have you seen him like in a video chat? Because let me tell you a story if I didn't already share. I was with my son's father, and then, you know, even when we were not apart, I mean, even when we weren't together, I was single for a very long time. Then I finally decided, oh, let me get into the dating world after a very long time, right? And I got scammed into a virtual relationship. He would never show me his face. Oh, I'm glad you did see. Yeah, we did a video chat, but he would not show his face. And I think it's because it didn't match the pictures that, you know, he presented. Would I date a YouTube person who's serious and not someone who's going to tell you things they think you want to hear? Is that continuation of the other comment, Boombastic? You know what, Gabe? I used to go bike riding about, I'm thinking how long, about 6 years ago. And I moved to apartment life, and I don't know why I gave my bike away. I think it's because I had a flat tire and I didn't want to deal with it, and so I just gave it to my dad because he sells at the swap meet sometimes. So I just gave it to him so he could fix it and sell it. And I was bike shopping a little while ago, but I didn't find the bike I wanted. But yeah, I do need to get back into that too. Because there's a really nice area to ride the bike around. Like it's all sidewalk. Is it? Yeah. Because I don't like to ride on the road. That's when I get would get the flat tires. Boombastic, that would be so fun, except my if I go out and actually walk and do a live stream, my service is horrible because I tried that. But I have done, when I first started going live, on Saturday mornings, I would walk in place while I was going live stream. Maybe I could do that. And I have a row machine, and so I would use my row machine while I was going live. I need foil on my head to have a good reception. Is that serious? Yeah, I could stay walking in place. And back to that question, Boombastic, I still don't think I could be with someone virtual. Even if they were 100% my person. I couldn't do it. A strainer. I could see myself, Boombastic, walking around. Actually, I don't have a strainer big enough for my head. But walking around with foil. Oh, goodness. You know what? I might try it just because. But yeah, I need an accountability partner. And I guess going live is the best I can do right now. Yeah, I need someone real in person. Lizzie says, how is everyone? Tony he still comes on. He was on earlier. But now that he's in Chicago, like he's ahead of us. So he's probably asleep. Krista, she comes on here. Of course, she's in Finland. So there's a huge time difference. Lady Sky comes on pretty often. Pretty much every time I go live, Lady Sky comes on. Miss Barb has not, she comes on like once a week because she's got a lot going on. So I missed a whole week though. You don't even know, Lizzie, but I stopped going live this week because my data is maxed out. So I'm in a pay as you go status right now until the billing cycle or whatever refreshes. Okay, Gabe, this is what I think. Walking is really good, okay? It's good for the waist. It's good for the heart. But you're right, you won't get, there's probably something else like HIIT training or what is it called? Tabata. You get a much better result in less time. And y'all, I do those too. I try everything because that's what I research a lot about. Losing weight. Boombastic says the governor deployed the National Army Guard. Is that what you call them? Oh, the governor in Texas did. It wasn't the president. Good for the governor. Yeah, I think it is called the National Army. Wait a minute. Is that what it's called? Now you have me guessing. I think that's what they're called. The ones that are like reserve and waiting. Yeah, Robert, my Wi-Fi. But I couldn't stay away tonight because I'm by myself. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and pay as I go right now. It's like for every 50, whatever, they're going to charge me $10. But they won't go exceed $100. But it's just not worth it for me to increase my data plan because it's only right now and probably next month that we'll be high on Wi-Fi. Omar, hello, hello. National Guard. Omar missed. Boombastic. Miracle. That's what I have. I do have the Cox plan. I don't know how much unlimited data would cost. I usually don't ever reach the max that I currently have. I might use 60% on an average, but this month, you know, is the first month my son is out of school, so he's been downloading all kinds of games to play with his friends. So I'm not worried about it. 10 has to work at 5. Oh, thanks for hanging out, Lizzie. I was worried about you because I hadn't heard from you. Yes, take care. And I hope to see you soon. Omar's tired. He's been working also. Boombastic, no you didn't. No you didn't, Boombastic. Good night. Good night. Oh, look at that. Omar is saying yes. Okay, somebody who used to come on here, he might show up. He said that protesting is allowed because it doesn't change anything. It was quite a thought. Okay, Omar, Bombastic lives in Texas, so I don't know what's going on. Where I live at, it's peaceful. There is no protesting where I live because I don't live in the bigger cities. Oh, are you doing okay, Bombastic? I don't know why this lighting is messing with my eyes. Yeah, okay, you guys, since we're talking about the protest. Miracle, you did. Oh, wow. How did it go? It's get over soon and the best result to the US people. Thank you. Oh, he's hoping the protest will be over soon and the best result to the people. You guys, I don't know if I should share my opinion. I have been trying to keep up with news, even though I don't have my Wi-Fi. And yeah, these protestings are crazy. They all got flattened by the SWAT. Oh my goodness. So you weren't actually participating, you were just watching. Is that what you're saying, Miracle? Omar always tells me to be careful of my words. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say what I'm going to say. Oh, yeah, I suppose I would just go to watch, be a spectator. But then again, I don't know. What I've seen on TV, people are crazy. And I don't think I would want to be anywhere near the protesting. Now, if the protesting had to do with Jesus, maybe I would. Okay, Miracle. Omar says, just as you ask if you should take yes, it is okay, but just careful words. Not meant for me. You know what? My dad did immigrate here from Mexico, but I'm not going to go into those protesting. No. He's a legal citizen now. So I don't know. It is dangerous. I was seeing the people break up cement and throw blocks and do fireworks and those fire things. Yeah, it's dangerous. Basic said she won't be in the mix. Omar says, hoping you did understand my statement, but yes, I did understand it, Omar. Thank you. Miracle says, right or wrong, I don't feel like you should be judged for your race. I feel like there's better ways to handle your issues. My whole thing is, if you came here illegally, why are you here? Okay, if people are here legally and being targeted, then that is wrong. You know, it's a domino effect. When you fix one thing, it's going to better a whole lot of things. Like, I see the big picture. I understand the bigger picture. And as a hardworking American who has worked since I was 15 years old, never been on welfare, I do have a different opinion, I guess. You're welcome, Omar. Okay, Miracle, remember how Jesus was arrested for doing nothing wrong? But you know how he conducted himself? Calm. He did not resist. He didn't even speak, even though he was innocent. And I think about that. I think about different parts of the Bible for how to manage today's life. Like, okay, you get arrested wrongfully. Just be, what's that word? Cooperative. And yes, they'll figure it out that you were not supposed to be. But if you resist, you're going to make it worse for yourself. This younger generation, they need to see God first before trying to go make a stand out in this society. They need to seek God first. Yep. Are you in Texas? I feel like I just saw you in the parking lot like 20 minutes ago. You think you saw me in Texas wearing exactly this? Bass, how can they when it wasn't so? Life is not fair, though. I will agree with you on that, Miracle. Life's not fair. But we as Christian people have to behave accordingly to show there is a better way. Omar has a question. Oh, wow. There's quite a... It says there's a lot of people here. Sometimes I wonder, not wonder, but I have been thinking about what if I get arrested because I look 100% Mexican, I think. Well, actually, a lot of people say I look Indian, so I might not, I might not ever be in that situation. But I'm like, what would I do? And I'm like, I would just cooperate and not put fuss about it, because people are doing their job. Omar says it's okay for every generation to blame the one before. And that's wouldn't be fair to you, to be honest. You know, my niece has two sons. I think you guys have seen them on live. One of them, he looks like a little white boy, but he's Mexican, 100% Mexican. You know, American with 100% Mexican blood. I don't even know how to explain that, but I hope you guys know what I mean. So my niece was saying that he thought he was white. He didn't know he was Mexican. And I shared the story of my son. We were sitting in the doctor's office. It was me and him, and there was another person sitting there who looked Mexican, but I don't know what they were. And an older white man with a walker. He walked into the office and he's like, I'm not sitting with these Mexicans. My son was 7 years old. And he's like, I didn't know I was Mexican. And I was smiling and laughing silently as best as I could. Because I've never taught my son about race. It's like, you're a human being. You're a boy, I'm a girl. I just don't feel like that's a fair job when the only thing they have to base it on is the way you look, because if you look like anybody else, they wouldn't stop you. Astra is back. Miracle says, I understand what you mean. And Omar says, you didn't answer me, Van. Omar, what was your question? Oh, I didn't know that was the question. Is it okay for every generation to blame the one before? I don't know. I blame my parents for giving me the initial circumstance I started out in, but the rest, it was up to me to make my life what I want it to be. Bombastic. Astra says, there are other things I forgot to say that has happened. Okay. I don't know. I don't blame anyone. I'm going to make my life the way I want it to be. Every day I choose, what do I want this day to be like? It has nothing to do with my past. It has nothing to do with the previous generation. I'm not even thinking about the previous generation when I'm like, what is my day going to be like today? What do I want it to be in 1 year? Does that make sense, Omar? Omar thinks I answered too quickly without thinking. Asher says, while I was gone, I had chicken wings. I've never been one to blame. I think he's thinking in general, more broad. Not general, but more broad. I just don't. There are some things that just don't cross my mind, Omar. You know, the new term is unbothered. There's a lot of things that I am unbothered by. Oh, congrats to your sister, Astro. 70, 80, 90, we had God, we have God. 2000 on God, less generation. $2,000 and on, God is less. Omar says, it may not lodge with me, but if they say, then it has to be real. So yes. Yes, you're... Okay, I think the scripture I read this morning, which I forgot to post it, but it was just the next, section in chapter 14 when Jesus was crucified. But before that point, it wasn't it Pilates, and I don't know if I said that right. He said, should we put to death Barabbas, or should we put to death this man who says he is the Son of God? And he did what was popular. He made the popular choice. He did not make the right choice. And yes, I agree with Bombastic. There's a lot of people doing what is popular in this world instead of what is right by God. And when you do choose to do the right thing by God, then you're seen as, oh, you're so different. You're weird. I get all kinds of little names for my child. Gabe says, amen to that, Bastic. And Omar says, meaning I accept all excuses. Bastic says, miracle, thank you. Astro says, I've also started working on an album. Omar says, can a woman get pregnant by 2 men at the same time? Apparently it's happened, Omar. If a woman has twins, it's happened. Miracle says, I feel like it's because people want to see everything, touch everything. And with God, it's the feeling, it's believing. And people don't understand that. So they want to see and not have faith. But the truth is, they're not recognizing God works, what he's done. Because if they would, they wouldn't have any doubt. Yep, we live by faith and not by sight. Omar is asking if a woman could be pregnant by 2 men at the same time. And I have heard, don't know if that's true, of situations where a woman has twins and one twin is from one man and one twin is from another. It's this new generation, they have no faith in anything. They don't have faith and their parents don't either, because if their parents had faith, they would teach their children. And their children would have a little bit more sense, a little more knowledge of what is right. Omar, you asked the question. Boombastic says, because children having children and parents wanting to be friends with their children instead of parents. Yes. Okay. Someone told me Apparently, he's got 6 children. The oldest is like 15. He, okay, he was serious. Because I don't even know how the conversation came up, but he's like, I don't know how to discipline my child without spanking them. I was like, you take things away. You give them a chore. You put them in timeout. You ground them from going anywhere. You take away their favorite things. You definitely sit down and have a conversation and tell them why they're being disciplined. Gabe says, in my opinion, sometimes, not every time. Your own personal experience with the God has a lot to do with your faith. It is. That's very true, Gabe. Because I grew up in a household where we went to church every Sunday. I knew about God. I would pray every night. It wasn't like 100% all putting God first growing up, but I had an experience every day. But it wasn't until I had my aha moment that my actual walk with Jesus started. So I agree. I agree with that, Gabe. Miracle says, I feel like they make it so unpopular to even want to do that, or they try to shy everybody away from even wanting to learn about God just because it used to be all over the place. Oh, my son has called me brainwashed when I start talking about the Bible and God and Jesus. Yeah, I guess that's the thing right now. Even animals know how to correct your puppies or kittens. They're young. Yes, Boombastic. It's like, nope. It's their natural instinct, I guess. I don't know what the minion thing is with Ollie. Omar says, van life is not like we think, but y'all afraid for us to really have a good conversation about the Bible and God, and that's a challenge for us. Boom Bostic says, how in the heck is a grown person not going to know how to correct a child? Exactly, Boombastic. And so then I'm sitting here thinking, this person is probably like a lot of other parents. Sadly. Very sad. It does really make me sad to know that. Really, really sad. I'm telling you, I'm so surprised that I've never had anyone confront me or, I guess, just make an issue when I am telling them another way. To just say it lightly. I think you're all trying to say we can all be only good. Omar, I'm not good. Even I say it all the time. I'm not. I have to really work on making the right choice. But I would rather how do I explain this? sometimes it is hard all the time to do the right thing. But I still take that path. Sometimes it's a little, I resist a little. But I know, I'm always thinking, this is how my mind thinks. I'm like, God is looking over me. And yes, he knows I'm struggling right now. But I want to get to heaven, so I need to take this route, even though it's going to be difficult and challenging and not the popular choice. And I might be, name called or whatever, but I'm going to take that route anyways. If Jesus was born of a virgin, okay, Ollie, I'm thinking I know who you are. And I'm going to ask my God in the name of Jesus Christ for a lot of patience. Jesus's mother was a descendant of David. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Bombastic says, if I had children, I wouldn't party with them. I wouldn't smoke with them. I would teach them Bible. Yes. My son, okay, he's like, Mom, my friends don't like coming over here. Okay, because I don't let people, these kids act wrong. They don't want to come over here, then so be it. Because I'm not their friend. I'm not trying to be the popular mom. I'm not trying to be the favorite mom or the popular house. Omer says, Van, you are good, Van, as you are not partaking in evil doing. Omer, I get tempted a lot. There's a lot of temptation everywhere, every day. And I have to consciously, mindfully, carefully choose good. Miracle says, no, God is a forgiving God. He knows all your mistakes before you make them. He knows your whole life. Amen. Omar says, I like you for that, Bastic. Ali says, where in the Bible does it say that Mary is a descendant of David specifically through Solomon? I don't know what the messianic prophecy is. Omer says, I'm like that too, Van, not participating in certain lifestyle or character, but the Bible said all this. I don't get it like you do. Oh, you know what? There's a lot of scripture I don't get myself, Plumber. Oh, why did I say Plumber? I never call you Plumber. Omar, just pray that you do understand. Miracle says it's because you're a good mom. That's why. Boombastic says because there's light in your house. Light equals God. And Gabe says not so, Omar. Nobody is all good. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. God is more impressed by your efforts. Amen. Miracle says, my mom was the same and I love her for that. I didn't understand then, but I do now. Miracle, amen. Okay, so I was a good kid. But I remembered this one time, y'all. I was supposed to be at my friend's house, okay? There was like 4 of us that we were good friends and we'd always hang out. 3 to 4, I can't remember. We were supposed to be at my friend's house, but we decided to go walk in and ended up at McDonald's together. When there was no cell phone, I know I've said this before, but I'm saying it again. My mom got word that I was at McDonald's. She drove over there, picked up me, and I guess my very, very best friend. I'm thinking my mom called her mom and she's like, "Oh, pick up my daughter too if you're going over there." So we both got picked up because we didn't have permission to be at McDonald's. And you guys, I do that with my son too. Well, now he's a little bit older, but I've driven 30 minutes to go pick up my son because he didn't have permission to be there. But you have to do that. They need to know you're serious, and when their friends see that, they're like, dang, she is not playing. His mama is not playing. Yep. Bombastic's laughing. Omer says, Van, don't watch The Temptation. Van, trust me, but there are basic things every human has to do. Temptation is our basic living. I don't understand that, Omer Plumber, by saying temptation is our basic living. We were made to fall short. We were made to fall short, but we didn't have to stay down, okay? Our efforts can get us up. I'm trying to explain things as best as I can. Gabe says, Bastic is right. I cannot imagine being the dad who parties and does stuff like go to the strip club, etc. with my kids. Omar says, but don't want to admit it. You know, I also know people who are like, oh, if my kid is going to drink, I would rather them be here at home. That's not allowed either. Not here. I am not that parent. Omar says, but don't want to admit it. Okay, somebody else is here named Solitone Tech. Needs prayer. Okay, first of all, I didn't know this was the month of Pride because I don't acknowledge that at all. I don't give it any attention, any energy. So I don't know why you are. Miracle says, my mom drove to my friend's house and honked the horn till I came out. That's what happened to Miracle, because my mom did not get out the car. She was not about to get out the car to go get me at McDonald's. She kept honking the horn herself. And I did that too. My son was hanging out at a park with his two friends. It was like 12:30. He had permission to go to the mall, and then come back. I was like, there was no permission for you to stop at a park, a random park somewhere, at this time of day. So I got there to the park and I kept honking the horn. I was like, forgive me, these people that are sleeping, because it was like a neighborhood park. I was like, but this boy does not have permission to be here. And these other people, see, what happened was one of his friends had a girlfriend who lived in that neighborhood. So they were visiting with each other at the park. So her parents probably didn't even know she was at the park. But I came honking at 12:30 at night. Oh, goodness. Omar says, Van, jealousy is in everyone. That's totally natural. But to be a part of negative energy and acts is not. Yeah, jealousy can be one of those temptations. I don't know if you want to call it a temptation. It's tempting to be jealous of other people. But I choose not to. I'm going to use an example. I used to be jealous of people who got married because I didn't have a husband. But I learned to turn that jealousy into a prayer, like being happy for them. And then I used to be jealous of people who had babies because I only had my one child. And I really did want another kid, but I wanted it with my future husband, a husband, not just anyone. And I learned to turn that around and be happy for them and pray for them instead of being jealous. It took time. Bombastic says he's letting you know that they are struggling with their homosexual tendencies. Since you're talking about God, they want you to pray for them. Okay, thanks for Bombastic. I do pray for everyone every single day. I'm like, the people I don't even know, like you, Lord, you know everyone's situation. I just pray for good for them. So you have already been, I've already prayed for you today, Tech, and tomorrow I'll pray again. Miracle says, my mom did not either. I feel like they were sisters in the past life. That's too funny, Miracle. Gabe says, Vanessa, what you mean is if your kid's going to drink, make the effing effort to hide it out of the fear of me. My kid shouldn't be drinking, period. That's what I mean. Not even at home. Omar says something with Bass. Bombastic says, what's up, Omar? Miracle says, Gabe, you don't have to agree with everything your kids does to save face with them. You have to set rules. Gabe says, right on. Omar says, that's common, Van, don't try it. But those are also basic examples. Okay, what is Omar telling me not to try? I think it's when I questioned... Oh, when I was talking about the jealousy part, I guess. Omar, we should pray for them. Jesus Christ prays for everyone. He did not reject anyone. Okay, even if, Omar, even if that person, if that person is joking around who made the comment, pray for me, it is more of a reason to pray for them. I'm thinking about what Bombastic type, that she doesn't want anybody praying for her that doesn't want to. And then Omar says there's nowhere in the book that says you shouldn't pray for everyone. You pray for what is in your heart. If it's in your heart to pray for people you don't know, then that's where your prayers go as well. Yeah. Yep. Omar doesn't joke with prayers. I'm glad you don't, Omar, but there are some people who do. God knows our hearts. Yes. That makes me think about something. What is it? What came to my mind? You know, I'm very careful with my jokes as well. Well, I don't even know if I joke around, but I try to be very mindful of everything that comes out of my mouth. Because, yeah. Do you guys know that scripture that it says something about speaking life? Something like that. When I really understood that scripture, that's when I became very aware of everything that I would say. Omar says yes, as they were created to do that, don't you think? I'm tight at joking. You know what I think, you guys, and sometimes it makes me sad? I don't know if my dad prays. I know that my mother always prayed over me. And ever since my mom passed away, I'm like, does anybody pray for me? I know I pray for my son very specifically. Every morning, every night, I pray over him. And I just wonder, does anyone pray for me? I pray for myself, but Omer says, all I can say, the creator of life is so great that it can only be guesses. Yes, the tongue is very powerful. Bombastic says, my struggles don't make me. I'm just going through the fire, and when I come out of the fire, I will be stronger. When I reflect on all the struggles I've had, they got me closer to God. They made me stronger in my faith. So sometimes in the midst of my struggles, sometimes I'm like, Lord, why? Why is this happening to me? Because I'm not perfect. But then when it's all over, that particular struggle, I give thanks to the Lord. Like, Lord, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm closer to you. My faith is stronger. I feel unshakable. I feel, what's the other word I like to use? There's a few words I like to use. Omer says, which you think is stronger, the tongue or the eyes? Tongue or eyes? So speaking or eyes? Smokey remembers me. Oh. The tongue has power to speak life over or death. You know, I think I'm really dehydrated because my lips are so dry right now. That's when I know I'm dehydrated, when my lips feel really dry. Bombastic, I think Omar falls in love with you more and more. But she wants to know, Omar, why do you love Bombastic? Omar says the book said it was the eyes, and I did my survey, and it's true if it's true. I don't know what. Okay, you know why I feel dehydrated? Because I was sitting with no AC. And I had that, it all started this morning. My lips were feeling dry at work. And I'm like, this never happens to me. But there was no AC, and I was blowing that portable AC on me, and I had another fan on me. I was just being dried up. You guys, go ahead and keep talking. I'm going to go and get myself some water and some chapstick. I'll be right back. Where is my chapstick? Oh goodness, is this cold? It's not really cold. Okay. I brought my chapstick with me, and I've got my water. Omar, we've talked about this, but you want to talk about it again? Oh, wait a minute. He's saying the eye is the problem. Well, they heard, which somebody else was speaking, what the serpent said. So had the serpent not spoken, I don't think they would have went to eat the fruit. I think that's what you're saying, Omar. There's Omar. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm being very, like, I feel like I'm 100% wrong when Omar says, don't try it. I always want to drag you in the Bible, but where is my phone at? Another reason I feel like I'm really dry is because I got 2 fans going. I probably should turn one off. When we give up our flesh for God's sake, we will find eternal life in Jesus Christ. Amen. Omar says, you won't allow me to, but that's okay. Omar, I have never said you can't do something or you can't type something. Gabe says, Omar, you can see whatever as long as you do nothing. There's no harm. You can open your mouth and say stuff that's mean and nasty to people from the mouth, which you will never be able to take back. If that's another take, yeah. Does anyone feel like you can't say anything on here that you're not allowed to? The way Omar says he's not allowed. Okay, Boombastic says Proverbs 18:29. Yes, Gabe, agree. Your mouth will get you in way more trouble than your eyes can ever get you in. Omar Plumber says you're right. Gabe, but not 100. Oh, there is Omar again saying don't try it. I feel like Omar makes me feel not allowed. Oh, goodness. Is my camera dirty? I feel like, or is this just not bright enough light? It feels like hazy and foggy. It looks hazy and foggy-ish. The power of the tongue. There's a lot of things that I say, and I'm like, why did I just say that? I don't really remember when you very first came, Omar. I just remember you would comment on my posts after the fact. Not really during the live. I don't remember, Omar. I'm gonna move somewhere else, okay? Let me see if the lighting is better, and I'm gonna turn off that fan. But you guys can come with me. I'm just going to turn the camera off because I'm gonna be moving. Actually, let me turn the mic off. There, this feels more comfy. Okay, there we go. Omar is going to explain. It does work, Boombastic. It's a recent item I purchased and I installed myself. um you used to just put like a sunshine or something emoji, Boombastic. Yeah, because that little area doesn't have any lighting, so I purchased that. Thank you. Oh, what time is it? Oh, watch me wake up early tomorrow. I do need to pull weeds in the front yard, which I would rather do earlier than later. I can't decide. Which post, Boombastic? See, a lot of my videos that came out this week were already pre-recorded, pre-uploaded. So I think today was my last pre-recorded video or set of videos. Happy Friday night, y'all. I hear doors closing. Yeah, they were all pre-recorded. Omar, I haven't seen her. I mean, I haven't been on here for almost a week. So I haven't seen her. I don't even remember when I stopped coming on live. Anyways, it was a good time off though. Okay, so if you guys heard me earlier talk about the things that were happening to my vehicles, I also had called the police, remember? On my neighbors. They don't know it was me, but they probably were very suspicious it was me. So I also wonder if it was them who messed with my cars. Oh, Boombastic wants to talk to Omar on the phone. What you do on your time away from us? Yes, Omar. Bastic has pretty much been at every live ever since she first discovered my channel. What did I do on my time away? I was waking up early, getting ready, reading my Bible on my own, watering my trees, just enjoying the morning. I made breakfast for my son almost every week this every morning this week. When I came home, I cleaned, I organized. I kind of deep cleaned my house this week. Not all of it, just for instance, you guys, under here, and it was so dark and dirty. Probably from my son's hands because he's the one who goes up and down the stairs mainly. And I was like, once I looked at it, I was so embarrassed. I was like, I have not cleaned this. So I cleaned the doors, I cleaned, all that kind of stuff. I washed my rugs, washed all kinds of stuff. I cleaned cabinets. It was all for a purpose, a reason. But it was well needed. I need another camera. You know what? My son did give me. No, I'm not sitting on the stairs. My son did give me a camera, and I was thinking about trying to use it on my laptop. Because if I go live on my laptop, I can show you guys things from my screen. I can't really do that through a cell phone. So I need to connect that camera and at least test it out for a live stream. Oh, speaking of my stairs, I vacuumed my stairs, like took my time and vacuumed really good. Hello, VG. Oh. I do have my cameras outside, but I think I need to change the settings and possibly change the angle. Make it be more sensitive to movement than what it is right now. I attempted to clean up the garage, but I didn't get very far in that. I had a whole bunch of cardboard that needed to be like broken down and put into my recycle bin. So that's another thing I was doing. I was doing some planning, just thinking about life, doing some reflecting. I need to, it's probably too late. I missed connecting with my friend today. She's going through something. So every day I've been trying to, reach out and see how she's doing. I just didn't do it today. I need to do that, Boombastic. Okay, Boombastic, you really want to talk to Omar on the phone? Omar has a question. Omar, I'm not answering until you tell us what you're wearing. Boombastic will talk. Omar, I'm serious. I'm not answering until you answer. Yuppie is wearing a t-shirt. Oh my goodness, we're at 100 minutes. How much data is that? Oh, I'm taking a trip, so I started packing. I started packing a bag. What else did I do this week? There's a lot going on. Boombastic says, Boombastic, I have a question. If you smoke, how long have you smoked? Because I know that affects how your voice sounds. My voice is sounding dry right now. I'm laughing at whatever Omar is saying. Montera, I think I remember you. Okay, since Omar asked the question, I'm wearing a t-shirt, I'm wearing jeans, and I'm wearing my comfy sandals right now, which I accidentally went to work in them this morning, or yesterday morning. One of these mornings I went in with my comfortable sandals, and we're not supposed to wear sandals to work. So I had to come home and change my shoes. Blue jeans, old gray polo shirt, one white sock on the right and one blue sock on the left. So gray polo, you're talking about like the collared top with like 3 buttons, or polo, the brand? Oh my gosh, y'all. I can't help but yawn. I'm sorry. I'll stay on here. Okay, so you guys, my niece is a dental hygienist, and she left me a sample of this toothpaste. Sensodyne Pronamel, clinical enamel strength deep clean. I told her the toothpaste that I use, and she's like, oh, that's good. Yuppie, I just saw this live in my feed. I just want to wish you a good day. Thank you, Yuppie. Peace to you as well. Omer says, Bass, totally am not the one to in such manner. Gabe says a brand is from 7 Christmases ago. 7 Christmases ago, huh? That was very specific, Gabe. Yeah, what is Omar saying? Oh, he wouldn't judge you. Lively Cuts is here. Lively, I don't know if you noticed, but I have not been on live all week. So, I'm home alone. And here I am. I need to check on my child. Lively says, oh yeah, I was worried about you, but I saw that you went to the movies. Yes. Oh, thanks for being worried about me, Lively. We actually went to the movies. When did we go? I think it was actually last weekend when we went. The movie was good. Okay, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Karate. I don't know. I started thinking, oh, I've been saying karate wrong this whole time. I liked it. I really liked it. The Karate Kid, when the original, the very first one, is one of many favorites of mine, okay? I tend to really like the old movies from that time. So The Breakfast Club, Karate Kid, 16 Candles, like those kinds of movies, they go down in my favorites. Darlene Dior. What is Valley Girl? Omer says, why aren't you reading my message in your box, Van? Omer says, meaning to judge you like that. Bass, totally am not the one to in such manner. I read those 2 messages, Omar. Or what's the inbox? Patrick says, how come you are still awake? It's Friday. I don't have to get up early tomorrow. Yes, Lively. I don't think I finished watching the Cobra Kai series. The newest one. Or did I? It's not that great. But I watched it. The Breakfast Club was bad. Yes, I watched it the other day. As a matter of fact, I was like, son, come and watch this movie. He didn't want to, though. Don't try it. We've passed those messages and this is life. I've been reading all the messages, Omar. Unless it's just not coming through. Sometimes they don't. Yeah, I don't know what you wrote, Omar, that I didn't read because I've been reading all of them. You said something about not the same question. I don't know. Is that the one? Anyone, did I miss one of Omar's messages? Okay, since we're kind of talking about movies, I cannot wait to go and watch Superman. They have another good-looking actor. The Superman movie before that was also really good-looking. Okay. Yeah, they came true, but it was the understanding to that text you didn't get. Yes. There's a Superman movie coming out, and I am going to go watch it. I'm not a fan of, I've never really been a fan of the Spider-Man movies, but I do like Superman. I do like Batman movies. I do like the white Captain America. I do like the Green Hulk movies. I haven't watched the red one. I like a lot of the superhero movies, especially Wonder Woman. I think I'm getting off topic here, but when I went to watch Wonder Woman in the theater a few years ago, the first one, I don't know if they have a second one, but when I went to watch the first one, I came out feeling like I could conquer anything in the world. Have you ever seen John Wick? Yes, I watched those movies. They're pretty interesting. I mean, I am a Keanu Reeves fan. I like his movies. Okay, I went to Burger King. Today was kind of a special day. I went to Burger King, and they just automatically gave me this crown. I think these are the soccer players. I think. Tell me she's not in the car. When 28 Weeks Later comes out, you gotta go see it. Oh, you were telling me about that, weren't you, Lively? And I pulled up. I don't think I looked at the trailer, but I happened to look at the movie. Cabin in the Woods. Gabe, who was in that? Because I think I watched it. What car? Are you talking about Bastic? I don't know. I'm not sure what Omar is asking or saying. Cabin in the Woods. Okay, now I'm thinking of two different movies, and I don't know which is which for the Cabin in the Woods. What is the best car I've ever owned? Let's see. Best car I ever owned. I don't know. I've owned a lot of cars though. I don't know which one was the best. Maybe the one I have right now. And I've had it for 6 years. It's the longest I've ever kept a car. Maybe it's the one I have. And I made videos about it. I laugh at myself a lot, you guys. I don't think I want to name all of the cars I've owned because that could be a personal information breach. You know, whenever they're trying to figure out your identity. So I'm not comfortable saying all of them. Okay, that is not possible, garage. Not possible. I mean, it is possible, but unless you're like a millionaire, I don't believe that. I will say that overall, Toyota and Ford are my favorite makes. Yeah, my Toyotas and my Fords were my favorites overall. I will say that. I won't say what kind of models I've owned. So, are these cars, have they always been, never mind. Are these cars junk cars or do they actually work? Because if that's the situation, then yeah, I probably could have owned that many cars in 3 years. So do you like flip cars for a living or something? Hello, Joseph Dracolt. Okay. Well, I mean, your name says garage, so I guess that makes sense. Speaking of cars and flipping, do you guys remember, was it called Trick That Ride or something like that? I can't remember what it was called, but I used to like to watch that show back in the day. I also enjoy every now and then looking at someone take a very, very dirty, uncared for car and they clean it up and make it like restore it back to almost new. Oh, and then there was that show, and then there was the other show with the dad and the brother, the son, which I used to think the son was attractive. But I can't remember the name of that show. The dad had like a mustache that came down. They used to drive motorcycles, but they used to fix up cars, I think. Not just motorcycles. I don't know. Now I'm just talking about whatever. Is Bombastic still here? Is Omar Plumber still here? Who's still here? Gabe says he's owned a Cadillac, a hatchback Civic, a Saturn two-door, a Ford Escort, a Toyota Camry, a Honda Accord, a Toyota Tacoma. Nice. Okay, I will say I think I would like a two-door Cadillac. I think I want to try that car. At least test drive it. I want to like respond back to Gabe, but I'm not going to. I've had several makes, I will say that. Several makes. But Ford, that's how I know Ford is my favorite and Toyota is my favorite. There is one car, maybe two cars, It would be so cool to see if I could find them today. Like the exact car that I used to own. It would be so cool if I could go and find them and buy them back. If they're in good condition. And I was just talking to my brother about that. I was like, because we were talking about cars. I remember the first time I went to buy my first car, my brother was helping me. So he made the phone call and he's like, Vanessa, how much money do you make a month? Okay, back then, it was only part-time. I only made $300 a month. In his face when I told him that. Because I was only 18 years old when I was trying to buy my first car on my own. So he was so nice. My older brother was nice, and he co-signed for me to get my first car. A VW hippie bus. No. Mm-mm. No, not trying to find a VW hippie bus. Let me just tell you how many I have had. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What did I trade that for? I would have to write them down. I can't think right now. It was that one, then that one, then that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. How many times? I think I've owned 15 cars so far. Yeah, I think I've owned 15. No, I don't even think I fit in a Corvette, y'all. And not a Corvette. Omar always likes to say he is. Thank you. Omar Z, did you mean to say a Porca? Yes, I've owned 15 cars. I think that's how many times I went, right? Yeah, there's several times I've owned 2 cars at once. There was one time I owned 3 cars at once. So yeah, I think it was 15. I'm pretty good about driving the speed limit. Pretty good about that. I don't know. I like cars too. I used to trade my cars every 2 years. Every 2 to 3 years, and like I said, sometimes I had 2 cars. So, oh my Lord, I'm old. I'm old. I've owned cars for almost 30 years. What do you mean? Boombastic is here eating a sandwich. Did I drive both or all 3 at once? No. How could I drive 2 cars at once? One would be like my going to work car. One would be my weekend car. When I had 3, there was one that was my fun car. until the fun ended. No, I don't, Omar. No, I don't. I drive the speed limit. One day I'm going to tell Gabe. One day I'm just not ready. Well, it's not that I'm not ready. I just don't. I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm not ready to talk about it. It's, and you know what? I don't even really have any pictures to share. I have a few pictures. Because one day I might tell the story. Because somebody might need to hear it. But not yet. I'm actually thinking about buying another car, a third car again. But I don't know. I don't need it. I don't need it. I would like to get a go-kart, golf cart, and kind of fix that up and put some, like put a lift on it and put some beefy tires on it. Like Dr. Phil. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I would paint my golf cart pink. Bombastic. Now she's eating an orange. I like when you guys tell me details, what you're doing, because you guys know what I'm doing. Uh, oh my goodness. Where is my child? He said he was going to his friend's house, but I didn't check his location. You guys, I would have checked my son's location. And hopefully that doesn't end the live. I'll be right back. Okay? Okay. All right, I'm back. Can you guys hear me? I remember one time I switched to go check on another app. And then when I came back, you guys couldn't hear me. So I got smart. And I'm like, let me mute the mic before I go somewhere else. And then come back. Okay, good. Okay, I know where my child is. We're good. Yeah. Because I'm usually buying cars every few years. I have an itch to trade a car or buy a car. And I keep telling myself, you don't need to, Vanessa. There's no reason. No reason at all. I almost thought I was going to trade my vehicle in for a Ford Bronco. I really wanted one. The new Ford Bronco, not the Sport, but the big size Bronco. And I test drove 2 different versions, the 2-door and the 4-door. And I'm glad I test drove. And then I changed my mind after the test drive. The orange is sweet. Oh, good. Cucumber gives you heartburn? Oh, That's not cool. So yeah, I want to test drive a few cars maybe, just to get it out of my system, and then I'll be like, this is what I'm finding. I don't like the newer cars. The newer they go and the more technology there is, the less I want. Omar, are you seriously outside looking at the sky, or are you looking out through your window? Oh, Omar, did you move? Omar Z, you said you were going to move. All right, you guys, when I was younger, I really thought a Mercedes Benz was like, if that was my dream car. I thought, I'm like, oh, when I get that Mercedes Benz, like, this is the best thing, that could happen. You know what I mean? It would be like my dream car. So I was serious about getting a Mercedes Benz a few years ago. And I went to test drive. And I test drove a few. And I didn't buy any because I didn't buy one or trade in. I told the salesperson, I was like, because it has this grain, like wood look in trim inside. And I asked the salesperson, I'm like, do all of the models have this? And I'm pretty sure he said yes. I was like, okay, I don't want it for that reason. This makes me feel like an old person. I'm very, it could just be one thing that throws a whole cell off. The guy keeps delaying. He needs to hurry up. I already paid. What did you buy, Omar? A pizza? Did you order a pizza or something? Interesting. Okay, guys, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because I feel like whatever I'm saying is not interesting. So what do you guys want to talk about? Oh, that sucks, Boombastic. That's happened to me too, where you're like, you're trying to itch. Scratch the itch. I have to put some stuff away. I'm looking at my countertops right now. Before I go to sleep. You haven't moved yet, Omar? I'm getting very sleepy, y'all. And watch, I'll go, say I just go straight to lay down right now. I won't be able to go to sleep. But right now, I'm wanting to fall asleep. Omar has not moved. Muvasik says, wake up. Is it a full moon or no? I'll sleep good if there's no full moon. Apparently, my nephew went for a night hike when it was a full moon. He went with his friends. I was like, I don't think I would go hiking at nighttime. I would be too scared. I need to see. Oh, are you allergic to something, Boobastic? Okay, every now and then, I get little tiny bumps on my fingers. Yeah, a full moon, people go crazy. They go weird. Isn't that interesting? Um, I wonder why. I wonder, I wonder if that's intentional or if it really is just natural. I'm thinking it's intentional because I never act different on a full moon. I've heard that one, Gabe. My mom had so many like superstitions. It was awful. I was like, why do you believe that stuff? Boombastic is claiming it. Anybody know what this is? What is this? Yes, it's bubbles. Let's blow bubbles together. Oh, how fun! Oh, Gabe said, you have competition with Omar Plummer. Oh, wait a minute. Omar Z says the body is mostly made up of water. The moon has an effect on the body chemistry. Ideal stories, says HLO. Do you mean H2O? I almost messed up this bubble wand. Boombastic, I know, I was just being silly. I know it looked like I was serious, huh? I just think it's kind of silly to abbreviate that. Omer says, stop it, you will get sick. Michael Jackson had a monkey named Bubbles. Omar Z. Why am I going to get sick blowing bubbles? Omar P is here. I don't know what this man is saying, or woman. Bastic, Omar, Bastic, Omar, Bastic, Omar. Are you guys gonna go back and forth? Rebecca St. James, wait for me. That sounds like a novel, or what is it? What is that noise I'm hearing? Oh, it's a Christian song. I'm gonna have to listen to it. Wait for me. What kind of emoji did Omar put? I don't know what that is. Wait for me. I need to listen to it, yeah. Because I'm trying to give it a rhythm or a tune. Omar says, I wish I was 17 again and still in high school. I don't like this world now. It feels very strange. I don't think you would like it as a 17-year-old either, Omar. Do you mean like 17 back in time? Or you want to be 17 right now? Oh, it's a crystal ball. Omar, why don't you like this world? Give me some details. I know you don't like when people call you bro, but what else? Omar wants to go back in time. Sometimes I think, no, I think about going back in time just to talk to people that have passed on, like have a moment that I could have talked to them, got to know them a little bit more in my family, like in my own family. But that's not how it was supposed to be. Let's see what Omar P and Boombastic have to say. I was waiting for Omar P to say that line. Gabe says, going back in time like Cher? You mean Cher wants to go back in time or what? Omar says, I don't like much anymore. People are so predictable. Okay, Omar, since people are predictable, doesn't that make it more safe for you? Now, if they were unpredictable, That would be scary. Omar is saying that the word divination, I don't even know how to pronounce it, has many meanings. No in creed be born. La la la. I really need to go brush my teeth and use this toothpaste. Deep clean, extra enamel strength. Has Omar Z entered the Matrix? Omar P says, please be specific. I think he's talking to Boobastic. Omar Z has entered the Matrix. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Omar Plumber is asking Gabe to be... Yeah, he was talking to the other Omar. What is the blue pill? I don't know. Because it's almost midnight. Isn't it very late for y'all? It's late for me. It is not. Yeah, I need to go check on my child. My nose is itching. It was all a dream. When the chat ain't noticed, they ain't be specific. All right, y'all. I'm going to end this live. For the ladies, I will be on tomorrow with my morning live, Saturday live stream. And I probably won't come back on until Tuesday night. I'll be on Tuesday night, y'all. And then it'll be back to normal. There's a red pill and a blue pill. Okay, good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. I send y'all peace and love. And know that Jesus Christ loves you the most. All right, catch y'all later.